Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Sounds and Hope channel, a channel where we spread hope in form of songs, stories, career talks, and sharing opportunities. Now, questions that you will be asked for spouses and dependents of international students borders on different aspects. One of it is going to address the period of your stay in the United States. First thing first, you should note that the F1 visa, which is the principal applicant for the F visas, is a non-immigrant visa. So that means every kind of interview you're giving, whatever you're saying in your interview, does not in any way connote that you mean to stay back or you are staying back as an immigrant. So everything at this point, even if you have any long-term plans, you don't, it's a plan. You don't want to tell them this is my plan. You want to plan with a short term. Because this is a non-immigrant visa, you want to treat it as that. And then you go with the current plan that you have going to study in the United States. So they want to ask you, what will you be doing? What do you plan to do when you get to the United States? Your husband will be studying. What do you plan to be doing? And I'm telling you, this question wants to really see if you have plans of maybe doing business or maybe working in the United States. And this is where some people miss it. And when I, even at the port of entry, you'll be shocked that some people are still asked. I was asked personally, I had a child at the time, and they still asked me after flying all the way. I flew all the way to the United States. At the port of entry, they asked me, what work will you be doing and that? And I told them I'm not going to be working because I understood that F2 visas shouldn't work. So make sure you are in the know, make sure you understand what your visa entails. It is a non-immigrant visa, and what it entails at the time before any other thing happens is that you want to come in. And honestly, for us at that time, we were coming just to study. And so you treat it as that. Don't go into plans beyond you studying in the United States. This was a requested video. I honestly hope that you find it helpful. Hit like this video, and please don't forget to share this video to people who you think might be helpful to. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So you don't want to tell them you're going to work in any way. You're not working. If you have plans to study, you could actually study on a part-time basis. But of course, you should also have a plan as to how you prove to them to sponsor yourself, since you will have no sponsorship when you are studying on F2 visa. So please make sure you do your calculations well. Also, expenses, like I've addressed earlier, you want to be sure you're able to prove to them that you are covered, that you won't be depending on the government for funds or tax funds when you get here for your upkeep. You want to make sure that you have your bank statements of account, just like your husband or your wife, the F1 principal applicant has been able to prove to them that yes, here is my sponsorship bank statements. You want to also have that so that you are covered. And of course, you're supposed to go with your husband's documents, his I-20 and yours, all of those documents. You want to make sure everything is well packed so that whatever you are asked, you can easily bring it out. You are ready for this interview. You want to make sure you're ready for this interview. They also want to know about accommodation. So this is all just bordering on your survival in the United States. Where will you be staying? They may want to ask you questions about accommodation, and you want to prove to them that that is covered. Maybe of course, you will be staying with your husband. I would expect that is taken care of in your bank statement already. And other dependents, if you have kids, like I had a kid when we were leaving, how you tend to care for them. So for me personally, what I told them was I will be taking care of my child, of my daughter, which is totally okay. Trust me. Another category of questions they will be asking you is gauging your background and your profile. They want to know, okay, establish that you are telling the truth when it comes to your relationship with the said F1 principal applicant. They want to make sure that the principal applicant, who is your husband or wife that is holding the F1 visa, you're able to prove that you're married to this person. And that's where you need to know your date. Like I believe they probably asked me mine when I went for my second interview, which I got in 2016. Of course, they asked me, I believe they asked me the date my child was born. And pretty much for that interview, honestly, I didn't need to say much. It was just one or two questions. Apart from that question, they asked me just one more question and I got my interview. So they don't mean to stress you at all. They just want to see that you have, it proves you're confident that yes, this is me. And honestly, the aura that I came with the second time, I was confident because I just believe I have nothing to hide, right? So prove it to them. That is what your mindset should be. Don't be overly cautious, like, okay, I want to keep this. I want to keep this. I don't know if this will be a problem. If you're not sure if something will be a problem, if an information will be a problem, research. Go online, go and do your research, and you'll be fine. So they may want to gauge your education and work background. What did you study? Where did you study? Where are you working? Yes, what kind of job are you doing? And living, of course, living so much paid jobs, sometimes it might be a worry. Somebody might be interested. How do you think you're going to cope if you leave this high profile job and you're going to United States to do nothing? Yes, you want to be able to prove to them that, well, I've saved enough. Maybe you have saved enough and you want to be with your husband. Of course, that nobody should think you shouldn't be with your husband, with your family. You want to be with your husband, or establish that you want to be together as a family. And what you will be doing as the wife, maybe you want to also further your education. You want to start by taking one or two courses as your F2 visa plan allows. If you have thoughts of changing to F1, don't say, well, I plan to change to F1. You also have to be careful not to reveal too much information. This is F2 visa. They are concerned and they wanted to prove to them that you deserve this visa. That's basically it. And that you are not hiding anything. They want to establish wedding and marriage, that you are married to this person. If you have pictures, you should have dates when you started courting, when you got married, and all of those things should be at your fingertips. And they may ask you questions that are relating to your spouse. It could be questions about what he's studying, if he has gone to United States, where he's studying, how much he's earning, maybe in terms of stipends, and questions that relate to his course. And that this is where wives or husbands alike, you have to all be doing this planning together so that you have information, as much as possible about what your spouse is doing, because that is going to prove to them that you are a team and that you are not lying to get this visa. And of course, you should expect that they may want to know your future plans. Do you plan on staying back, or you want to come home? At this point, you don't want to tell them you want to stay back because, like I said earlier in the video, this is a non-immigrant visa. So you're expected to come in, study, and go back home. I know someone has asked me that question in my channel before, and this is an opportunity to explain that. You don't tell them, this is my plan. You do things accordingly. When we were coming, honestly, we didn't have the plan of staying back. So it was very easy for us to tell them we're coming to study. Yes, and that's it, right? So we were just open. Yeah, we may stay back, we may not stay back. But we didn't tell them that we're going to stay back or we will not stay back. So if the question comes to you, what future plans do you have? Yes, I plan on studying with just make sure that you answer the question as much as possible and you don't show any intent on staying back, because that is not what your visa is. If you have plans of, okay, maybe getting a job after then and then doing maybe staying back to see if there are opportunities here for you to stay back, really get companies to file for you, this is not the time to tell them that. They don't want to know, because it's just like you're shooting yourself in the leg, trust me. So keep your plans to yourself as much as possible, but be confident, answer questions as related to your current visa status that you are pursuing, which is a non-immigrant visa. I hope with these few points of mine, you are ready for your F2 visa interviews. Please make sure you still do your research. Go online, type in questions that we have talked about, and you've heard from other people's experiences. You want to type in questions as much as possible. Just be ready. When you are really ready, you may not even get more than 1 or 2 questions, but trust me, you don't want to be caught unprepared for a question. All right, I'm going to see you later. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this to this point. If you have, please hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to share this video to people that you think it might be helpful to. I'll see you next time. Bye.